welcome back to the Beauty Vault. We're
What it do,
live.
booze?
What it do? Oh, wow. Okay, really quickly before we get any viewers, let's go ahead and jump into the sponsors for today's episode, which is GHG Pro University, which is a continuing education platform in the cosmetology field. We focus on mastery. I am an educator at GHG Pro University, and my co host, Trent, is a educator as well.
Yours.
Our
Let's go
second
ahead and jump into
sponsor is Nicolette Amani, Makeup by Amani. She does the beat on my face on the show, and we thank her so much for giving her time to the show. And we're gonna jump right in with the check-in. Let's get into it. What's up, Tran? You know I haven't talked to you all week. So how you feeling, girl? How you feeling?
I'm a little tired, you guys. A little tired. Got to go to the dentist. I am suffering from a little toothache at the
Toothache.
moment, but we're going to push through.
For
I'm glad to
sure.
be here on the second day of the week. It's Monday, right?
It
So,
is.
into the hustle and bustle of things. I'm excited
Yes.
about today's show.
Me too. We back to
How
the
you
beauty
feeling?
discussions. I'm feeling good. I today was really good. I was supposed to have therapy today, but my therapist was sick. So what I did instead, me and the family, we went to see two different movies. The children went to see Spider-Man, and I went to see Little Mermaid. And I love Little Mermaid. Have you seen it yet?
I seen it today.
Okay. Can we talk? You saw it today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! So, what did you think about it? I'll tell you how I felt. What did you think about Little Mermaid? Because I
I
cried by the
liked
opening
it.
song.
I
Okay.
appreciate that they kept it very close to the original.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoyed the original so much that I really appreciated that they kept the storyline pretty close. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. It was a tearjerker for me
for
at
me
certain
too.
moments.
Like
Just
the
hearing a
opening.
brown lady, brown young woman
Yes,
glowing, singing
and it
that
was
song.
powerful,
It
powerful.
was.
Her vocals
I
were so
enjoyed it.
strong. I got chills. Like I feel like for
Yeah.
the people that are gonna watch it at home instead of in their theater, I mean in the theater, I don't know if it's gonna radiate how it did in the theater. Because in the theater, I feel like her vocals went through you. Like she was just powerful. She's
Yeah.
small, but her vocals are mighty. I feel like
Beautiful
her
voice.
vocals outshine. I ain't gonna say. I will say I loved Ursula. Ursula's character was phenomenal. Like she did a great job. I was so impressed. But needless to say, I was super emotional seeing Hallie's face, and I was like, oh my god, like this is a black girl. She's going to be etched into history forever. Like Little Mermaid is how old now, and it's still relevant. Like Little Mermaid is a classic, and then you have the new live action, and it's gonna take the place of the original. And guess what? It's a black woman as the
I
star of
really
it, and
enjoyed it.
she shined. Ah, ooh. I mean, talk about beauty standards. I
Yeah.
mean, the mold is being broken. But yeah, so I watched Little Mermaid. I enjoyed it. It was emotional. It was good for me. But overall, today's been a good day. It always gets hectic on show day for me. I feel like at the beginning of the day, everything is going good. I have it all under control, and then it just starts falling apart. But either way, nonetheless, I'm feeling good. I'm sipping on some tea to keep my vocals warm and lubricated. And so, with that, let's go ahead and do the intro for all of our listeners tuning in. We have a live show, but we want to make sure that we get the podcast listeners that beautiful introduction that we always let you guys hear. We're going to jump right into it. I am BB Nicole,
Peace and blessings. It's your girl Trend, and welcome back to another episode of The Beauty
the Beauty
Wall.
Vault. Yes, I am BB Nicole, and I am the founder of DHG Pro University, as well as salon owner at deluxehairgallery.co for the ones that don't know.
That's right, girlfriend. And I am the CEO of Totally Trend LLC, your co-host here at the Beauty Ball, as well as your co-educator at DHG Pro University. We're
Yes.
glad to be here.
We in the building. So let's get into today's hot topic. I am super excited to be before you guys with another beauty topic. Last month we honored mental health awareness, and now we're back to beauty and awareness and all things like that. So today's hot topic is the price of perfection, the pressure to conform to beauty standards. Are y'all excited for this show? If you guys are excited to hear about what we're going to discuss today, stay tuned. And we have a question for the audience, and I'm going to read it for the listeners. The question for the audience we have up on the screen right now is: do you feel that, sorry, let me zoom in on my screen because it's a little far away. Real quick, y'all bear with me, and I got my glasses on. Okay, do you feel the rewards of cosmetic procedures outweigh the risks involved? Let's talk about it. I'll read that question again. Do you feel the rewards of cosmetic procedures outweigh the risks involved? So, before we answer that question personally, we're going to pretty much just kind of set up the show. And apparently, if you have been on the internet the last week, you kind of know what we're leaning towards. And there was a travesty, a passing of a young, beautiful mother, and she is a celebrity, and her name was Jacqueline. She's also known as Jackie O. She was a part of the cast for Wild 'N Out by Nick Cannon, and she was also the significant other of the comedian on the show, DC Fly. What was his?
DC Young
DC.
Fly.
DC Young Fly. It's so many youngs. And we're not going to talk so much about her because that's not what the show is about. We do have empathy for her family. We're not discussing her case in particular because it's just tacky. But we do feel that there is a responsibility in discussing the unrealistic beauty standards that the world has set on us. We do have empathy and understanding towards all individuals who choose to undergo cosmetic procedures, but we also have a duty and a responsibility to our youth and to everyone around to discuss the risks and downfalls of beauty standards and cosmetic procedures. So, with that, we're going to just jump into the show, let that settle. May her beautiful soul rest in peace. We're going to move on to the topic at hand, which is unrealistic beauty standards. That is the main thing that we want to bring awareness to. We are not here to down anyone for their beauty decisions, what they decide to partake in, but we do have a responsibility to talk about the price that perfection is costing our community, and not just the African American community, the world. The beauty standards are crazy. So, how do you feel? We can make it personal. How do you feel about like cosmetic surgery? Have you ever been like thought about it or considered it? Like, how do you feel about cosmetic surgery and your body image in general? Like, how do you feel?
Um, to be realistic, I definitely have thought about cosmetic surgery multiple times throughout my life.
Yeah.
Um, at different times, different things. There are some things that I would like to enhance
Yeah.
or reset per se.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Perfect.
but but for the most part, I do think about when I do think about it. I really think like I focus more on the inside. Is that something that changes the way that I maneuver, changes the way that I operate,
Yeah.
really feel about myself.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like I have a pretty positive self image and self worth. But there are some things that I would want to enhance or, like I said, reset, right? Make better.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, But my position on cosmetic surgery, I probably have to say I'm about 50-50. I'm on the
Probably
fence.
on the
I'm
fence
on the
about it.
fence
Okay.
about it.
I
Yeah.
feel like for me, I've considered it. I feel like the main thing for me, if I had to be honest about what has kept me from doing any cosmetic procedure, it's probably risk. um, because I always think like as much as there are things that I would change. I'm a mom. I have two children. You know what I mean? Like let's be very real here. Our bodies change after babies. Our bodies change with age. And all of those things are okay. And all of those things are fine. And they're part of life. But I would say that I think finances and risk are a big thing for me. I feel like maybe if I had the money, would I probably would partake in cosmetic procedures. You know what I mean? I spend money already on certain beauty things. I spend money on hair extensions. I spend money on lashes. So I'm already dabbling. You know what I mean? I've just done nothing. I've just only stuck to things that are temporary. I guess I don't know. I guess if it wasn't for like the risk, the one in a million possibilities when it comes to going under the table, when it comes to being injected or poked or probed, I just would hate. I would not want to be that statistic. You know what I mean? Like that one in a million. I just my fear keeps me
No, I
happy
get
in my
it.
own skin. But if there was like a guarantee, like 100% guarantee that I probably wouldn't have issues, I think I don't know what I would fix. I always thought about lipo. Like I've never thought about like cutting and nipping, adding more boob, adding more butt, but I have thought about like lipo because I get lazy at times. You know what I mean? Have you ever thought about things like that, like invasive things, or were the things that you were considered getting were they like? Did they require like you to be put under and be put to sleep? What were you kind of like toying with the idea of? For me, definitely lipo. I thought about that, and I thought about maybe like I have a thing about doing anything to my face, especially when it's trendy. So I wouldn't do like microblades and all those things. But what did you kind of toy with the idea of, as in cosmetic procedures? What were you considering? If you mind sharing, if you don't want to share, we can move on.
Um, yeah, I'll just say that there were some things that I did consider
Yeah,
altering,
yeah.
resetting, right? I'll say
Resetting,
that.
yes. Uh huh.
Um, but I definitely had to think about the risk. I am a person that has challenges with my blood. Um,
Mhm.
my blood is thin. I have challenges with my iron, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I could be considered anemic,
Anemic.
right? I have
Yeah.
challenges with anemia.
Mhm.
So the thought of me being on a table, getting cut and bleeding out, right,
It's troublesome.
definitely outweighs uh, the urge or the want or the thought to reset some things, alter some things, enhance some things.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. But on the other side, when I do think about enhancing or changing, it also strengthens the way that I really feel about myself. It makes me
For
reflect on the
sure.
way that I really feel about myself on the inside, and
Yeah,
it builds character.
for
Because
sure.
what if there was no amount of surgery that you could get to help you? Like, what if there was
Yeah.
some
What are you stuck
unforeseen
with?
circumstances
Yeah.
that had happened where cosmetic surgery ain't gonna
What
help
just
you?
didn't
You know what
exist.
I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I feel
Yeah,
like
you
for
could get
me,
prostate, your legs get cut off, your arms get cut off, you get prosthetics, but at the end of the day, your life's still gonna be, you know what I mean?
it's gonna be altered. It's
Being
gonna be different.
altered.
It's not the
So
same.
work on within, work on just being comfortable with, loving the wides, loving
But
the
you about to
parts
say
of
the
yourself
why
that you think
that?
are. I definitely, I definitely have a wider bag. I could play
Me too.
football.
It's wide. We getting wide, but it's okay. It fluctuates.
Yeah, but this back is able to carry my kids too. It's able to carry the weight of the world. It's able to carry the weight of my,
Yes.
the stresses of my family, and I'm strong. If we gotta carry some stuff, I
Yeah,
can carry it. So
for
like that's what
sure.
I mean too. The things that I
Look
think
and see
about
the positive.
changing when I reflect on why do I even want to change these things, and
Right,
it
right.
actually could benefit me. People could
Yeah.
see that, hey, she has a bigger nose, you know what I mean? But the way that she carries herself and the confidence that she has when she's
Hmm.
out in the world, um could encourage other people. And so I kind of feed on that type of energy and mindset
Yeah, for
when I am thinking
sure.
about altering stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like, in general, like as women and men, I feel like this is just not something negative self-image. And this is not even to say that anybody that's undergoing procedures or changing anything about their body has a negative self-image. But on average, negative body image is a lead to, make people want to, change. And also, like, negative body image is a big cause that leads to mental illness and like eating disorders and body dysmorphia. It's so many things, and then we're faced with these perfect images plastered all over the interweb. We're navigating through that day to day. So, like I said, I empathize with people who do go that route. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just feel like, I definitely empathize with people who choose to go that route. But I guess to answer the question that we posed to the audience, do you feel that the rewards of cosmetic procedures outweigh the risk involved? I would have to say, being someone that does not partake in, cosmetic procedures, any that put me under the table, I feel like I am 50-50. I feel like the procedures that I have gone through, um, that aren't, you know, under the knife, but I do a lot of procedures. So far for me, they have been worth it. But the more higher risk procedures, I don't. Right now, I don't see the reward, because even listening to influencers and listening to, I'm a person that used to watch YouTubers, right? So let me just get the setting, set the stage for you. I used to kind of, I'm not going to say be obsessed with YouTube, but I used to love following people's story and their life story. And a lot of the YouTubers that I follow, they would go under different procedures, whether it's on their face, whether it's injections, whether it's nipping and tucking, and you would often see like a lot of people getting things undone due to complications that they didn't know about, or due to complications that they didn't think would happen to them. So many people get a good experience, but then you have these regular people who are not having so good experiences. And then you have, the instance like where people are actually losing their lives behind it. Just like, if I'm not mistaken, Kanye West's mother, rest in peace. She went under the knife, and it didn't, that in that instance, I don't think no one around her would feel like it was worth that risk. No one would, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's 50-50. I feel like the higher the risk of the procedure, the more likely I am to probably go the other route and not do it. So what say you? The
I
question
feel the
we
same way. When I think about it, it's like, no one's going to benefit from it if I'm dead. You know what I mean? I'm not going
for
to benefit
sure.
from any procedures. My children aren't. So if it's going to cost me my life, then that's definitely something that
We're gonna
it's
pass
a no
on.
brainer for me. It's a no
Yes.
brainer for me. And just so, with that being said, I have to be in love with myself. I have to be confident and okay with the person that I wake up being every day,
Yeah.
and change what I am in control of.
For
Make those
sure.
calculator risks. Like, I may not be able to cut it up and get it taken care of
Right. But we can do other things
immediately, but maybe there's some things that I can do right
to
slowly.
to
Um,
change and make
may take a
progress.
little more time, right, to help me get closer to what I'm trying to accomplish, right?
For
But
sure.
in the meantime, just love who I am, love what I am in that moment. It
Right.
is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, the I can't even say it's only the youth that are looking at like societal beauty standards and freaking out. I swear, like just watching my children, we really quickly, I'm gonna pause because we have some comments. Hey AJ. Yes, keep it natural. Thank you for engaging. If you want, at the top of the show, we posed a question. We're about to move on to another one, but I do want to give you an opportunity to see that question real quick, and I'm gonna finish my thought. But you can check that question out right now. It's on the screen for you. But I feel like our young people, and I hate to only say our young people because I feel like adults are being influenced. We used to be the influencees. I mean influencers. Now, we're adult being influenced. Like I feel like younger people are making more money than us. It's a lot going on. So it's like it's a I don't know. It's just a different world. Like the world is just totally different from like how you and I grew up. But I feel like at the end of the day, we do have like the responsibility to, talk and have open discussions about, beauty standards and how they affect us and how they will affect our children and, us as we age. But we also have another question that we're going to pop up on the screen because we're going to move right along to our audience. We want to know how do societal beauty standards impact your decisions around cosmetic procedures, popular hairstyles, and beauty trends? Again, if you want to join the conversation and leave your comment down below, we will see it when you leave it. So feel free to answer that question. We can't wait to hear your feedback and hear your thoughts. As you guys know, this platform is for you all as well as it is for us. We are a community and we love having discussions about, things that impact us. So, as you guys look at that question and read over that and get your answers together, we're going to move on. So, how do you feel, Trin? How do you feel that society affects your decisions and your beauty trends and what you partake in and what you don't partake in? Are you affected?
Well, as a beauty professional, it affects me because it lets me know what styles I might want to try
Mm-hmm,
on
mm-hmm,
my clients, what styles I may want to advertise to bring in more revenue, right? So,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
um, society influences that for me. Kind of lets me know what's going on in the industry, like I said, as a beauty professional.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, just kind of keeps me updated on what's
Updated.
going on.
Yeah, like for me, I feel like we're stylists for the ones that for the listeners and for the viewers, anyone who may come across this video and don't know who we are. We are beauty professionals and we are hairstylists by trade. So that just lets you know our profession. The standard for our profession is always look your best, present your best self. So as far as like how societal pressures affect me, I feel like I'm 100% like before I even came on screen, just natural, nothing on. When I'm in my home, when I'm in my environment, I don't feel any pressures. I feel amazing, and this is how I would love to be. This is how I would love to present myself. But realistically, our industry doesn't really like that. And I mean, granted, your talent will speak for you when it comes to certain things, but our generation, the time and how the world is now, you gotta look like you got it. You gotta look like an it girl. You gotta have the latest designer. People are buying into a lifestyle, so it does affect. I feel like society does have an effect on me at times. I feel like I'm not super materialistic, but I find myself, getting my headshots, spending my money on designer things and nicer things to an extent because I'm not really a conformist, but I understand that I have to be fluid enough and flexible enough to kind of have a give and take, like keep parts of myself, but also I have to stay current with times. So I do feel pressure half the damn time. I want to walk outside, with my glasses on, nothing on, going to the store, and now I have to worry about clients seeing me. I have to worry about, strangers seeing me that may follow me on social media when I just want to be a regular person. And I feel like beauty professionals, sometimes we're like mini celebrities of our city. That's just like being humble. you get a name for yourself, you get traction, and people start recognizing you. Where you can go out in public before people might be like, "Hey, don't I know you? I seen you on social media," and it's more common now because we have to be freaking content creators. So half the time you're seeing our faces. You're really knowing who we are behind our work. You know what I mean? So I feel like I always have the pressure to be on. Do I always subscribe to it? No. But there's societal pressures and societal standards, and then there's standards that I feel like we have individually. You know what I mean? And I do have a high, sadly, I have a high expectation of myself to present my best self when I'm out. So I have societal standards that kind of affect me. But when I go out, I'm like, I want to look a certain way, and if I'm not looking a certain way, I ain't too happy about it. So then there's that internal battle, and that personal standard that you have set for yourself too, that kind of plays a factor. So I feel like I am affected. But yeah, you have anything to add to
It
that?
just depends. Yeah, for me. It just
Mhm.
depends for me. Like as far as my clients goes, like some days
Mhm.
image is there, some days t-shirt, sweatpants, but
Yeah,
my energy is in the hair. You're gonna get my
it's gonna
best.
be in the hair.
When I spin you out of the chair,
You're gonna be right.
yeah, you're gonna be making plans.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like another
I don't know.
pressure I have as far as like image and societal, pressures. I feel like as like beauty professionals, especially when let's think about your demographic and who you're marketing to and our pricing and stuff like that. So if you call yourself a high end stylist, I I get that pressure. Sometimes I'm like, like, oh, today I'm just not doing it. But I'm charging XYZ. But today I might not have beat my face. I might have put on, lounge fit, and I'm looking regular degular. You know what I mean? But there are people who feel like if you charging XYZ, you better look a certain way. My experience better be a certain way. So it's just like the pressure is never ended. I feel, but I don't know. You know, it
It just
affects.
depends. Like I said,
Hmm.
yeah, some clients, I mean, transparent moments. Some clients could have
Hmm.
me on edge, especially if it's a first
Hmm.
client.
I
I'm a little more
do.
aware of my image.
Me too.
I'm a little more aware of my image. I say professionalism is going to be
Always
there
a
for the
hundred
client,
percent for
right?
sure.
Experience for the client is going to be there every time. What
Yeah,
what is prone to change is the image.
for
Some
sure. That
days you
me
could
too.
catch me. Some days you could catch me in the beauty
The
professional,
lounge wear.
fashion forward, and other days you'll catch me lounging. But you're going to get that
Right.
professional optimum experience from me. So
Every time.
if you're not
I'm
a person
never
that cares about what I look like, and you care about more what you look like, we're gonna get along. So that's what I need
vibe
you to be worried about anyway.
for
What you
sure.
look like, what you got going on.
For
Uh,
sure.
but yeah, no, I do understand how you
Yeah.
could feel those pressures too, because I
Yeah.
definitely am like that. Just the image, just with me being a stylist working at home, the image of
Yeah.
my house, how
I
what
was
it
just
looks
about to
like
say that
when they walk through the
aesthetics.
door. Right, exactly. So, and just depending on now, let's say you come into the house getting your hair done, I might wait to sweep the floor. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
might wait to
yeah.
sweep the floor when you come in versus before you. Just depends.
Yeah,
You know?
it does.
So I understand, but the pressure isn't always in it, but it's just how you choose to respond. And for me,
Yeah,
I have stressed myself out so bad and then
yeah,
ended up in a situation where no matter what, I just had to show up in a t-shirt and some sweatpants. It's not what I
yeah,
wanted to do, but it just
yeah,
was what it was, right?
yeah,
And I have this high-end client per se, but I just showed up in t-shirt and sweatpants, and they did
yeah.
not care. They could care less about what
As
I was
long as they
looking
look
like.
good,
I was stressed out.
for
Right, hair
sure.
came out impeccable. Service was great. I gave my best professional foot forward.
Hmm.
And situations like that help me to relax a little bit more, exhale a little
Yeah.
bit more, chill a little bit more, and not
Breathe.
be so hard on myself. Give myself
Yeah,
some grace, because I understand what you're saying. That
yeah,
thought process of like, if they're paying me this, they are expecting me to be a certain type of way. When you
yeah.
could
And
have some
it's
people
all
on the other end.
personal. Yeah.
Exactly,
It's all
exactly. And that's
internal,
exactly what
just
I'm
for the
saying. You gotta
record. Yeah.
exactly, that's right. But you're causing extra stress on yourself. Or just like
Yeah.
you said, it just depends on the
It just
situation.
depends. It does. I like that. And like, on the topic of like aesthetics, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like everybody got a plant in beige, fuzzy, cozy aesthetic? Like, how do you feel about aesthetic? Are we doing the most? Is it too cookie cutter out there? Like, I feel like aesthetic is like, I don't know, like aesthetic is overboard.
It's
Everything
a
is aesthetic. You know what I mean? It's just like, damn, nobody is regular anymore. Are there still regular people? Like, it's just, I don't know. I just look at like
I
Instagram, I look at
mean, you're definitely
everything.
creating an aesthetic. We're beauty professionals, so we're definitely creating an aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
We don't. When you're walking into the salon, you want it to smell like hair products,
Or candles, or, well, no, you might not want to
or
put candles in the
an
environment.
aroma, lavender in the air or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
An
what I
incense
mean
burner.
more so is when I look out, let me clarify. This is an aesthetic. You naturally, authentically have an aesthetic. Look at your background, look at your personality and who you are shining through. I feel like, my personality shines through. But overall, I feel like when you look on social media, there is a pushed aesthetic. You got Jordan ones, you got, like backgrounds with, I can't explain it all the way, but just when you look on social media and scroll, it's a whole bunch of sameness. It's a whole
Talking
bunch
about
of repetitive.
the
The
green
green
background.
plants or the beige plants, everything. Oh, not plants, but like beige couches. And I got it right here. Faux, like the pompous. There is a aesthetic type that is really oversaturated. And so I love when I do see unique backgrounds, unique outfits, unique everything, because I feel like everything is just so cookie cutter.
Watered
I
down.
just watered down. I just love individuality. I love seeing unique things. I love, when a person gets on camera with their videos and content and they look like a regular human. And I just miss that. I miss us being normal and not, being so. We'll get into the next topic while we're talking about it. Uh, what I'm getting at, how about we follow the script here, is celebrity influence and the unrealistic expectations. That's what I'm getting at, clearly. But we all know that celebrities and the media plays a big part in, like, what beauty standards are, what beauty standards will be, what the trends will be. And celebrities, as well as social media and filters and everything like that, they feed into the portrayal of perfection. And I feel like, we all can relate to, comparing ourselves and looking at social media and then having to check ourselves like, this shit ain't real. Like, this is an
Bingo.
illusion. This is
Bingo.
fabrication.
Disconnect.
You know what
Bingo.
I mean? And even down to the fact that, like, everybody ain't, beauty enhancements and all these things aren't what they're cracked up to be. Forget, like, just a picture. Like, these enhancers, like, we have texture on our skin. How often are we showing an unfiltered picture? We don't look all snatched all the time. We sit down, we have fucking rolls. You know what I mean? People are trying to edit out reality. And it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. So how do you feel about
All
like the
got the
celebrity
time.
influence? Because I feel like we
I
are
hate it. I
Aquarius.
really do.
I hate it too.
I hate
I hate
it.
it too.
I'm not with it. I am, as you guys can see, I really show up and I do the minimum to myself. It's not because I don't love myself. I love myself a whole lot. It's just the fact that I
Right.
don't feel the need to. I want you guys to see that I'm happy to be here, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'd rather spend more energy communicating with you guys, bonding with you guys, networking with you guys, putting my energy into the topics.
And the
Making
message.
sure my vibrates is good, then spending my energy on making sure that my lines
And
and
that's
my
your-
eyebrows are
Right.
symmetrical and I'm not looking like a mime when I get on the light because I've used the right foundation. Like I'm
You're not
into
into all that.
I'm just not. But that's just me naturally.
But I
don't get me
love
wrong.
that.
There are times where when I'm going out, it's just when I'm going out, like with my girls.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
said we're going out. We're
We'll
going to
step it up
lounge.
a
We're going to
notch.
go just literally. I'm going to comb out my
Yeah.
hair.
Well,
But
I love that and appreciate that about you. I always feel like, one thing about this space, you and I both just show up as ourselves. I am a girl who loves the doll up, even if it's minimal. I'm finding that I have my heavier days and now I'm more minimalistic, but that goes to like that internal standard, that personal standard. It's just like, you everyone is entitled and should feel comfortable to show up exactly how they are. That gives us
I do it when I feel
individuality.
like it.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm gonna do
Period.
it every
Like
damn Monday.
tomorrow,
And that's it.
next Monday, I might want to throw on some,
Right.
do a little extra to myself. It's my
Yeah.
prerogative, but it's not
Yeah.
because I have set a standard for myself that this is
Mhm.
something that
That you
I'm going to
wanna.
do because I have to do it, or I'm supposed to.
Right. It's a choice.
I'm supposed to love people. I'm supposed to treat people good. I'm
Hmm.
supposed to put my best foot forward. That's what I'm supposed to do. And that's
Yeah.
more beautiful than any enhancement that I could ever do to myself.
For sure.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
So
I love that. Yeah, but I feel like, to go back on the topic, and that's beautiful. And we love to see it. We love to see people that embrace and love how they look naturally. And then we do have our girls that enhance, and we got balance on this show.
I'm
We
both of
love
them.
and respect each, and we are, it's duality. We are both. We are
Literally.
all things. We are
It's
more
whatever I
things.
feel
We
like
are more
doing.
than one thing at once.
Not because
Yes,
you want me to do it, it's because I
for
feel
sure.
like
It's because you feel like it. Yeah. I mean, not only that, like, I just feel like in general, like, it gets really serious with just how unrealistic, the standards are, because we have a young, beautiful woman who, had so much potential, and this she couldn't even keep up with the standards, and she, had the money, the fame, all these things. You know what I mean?
this is what it
Yes.
makes me think about though. Like
Go ahead.
let's get like I want to get it makes me think deep.
Let's do that.
Like because it's like you're Jackie O, and it makes me think about the song. And she got more ass than Jackie O. It's like, is that her? Is that who they
I
were
think
making
it's
that
two
song about?
different.
I don't know. It could
I
be, but
don't. Okay, got it. Yeah, got
okay,
it.
maybe
You
not.
got
Okay, I'm
status. You
gonna
got status. You got. That's not the point. She
period.
got
Okay, if
status
that ain't
and
it, you're
notoriety.
canon,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Boom.
Wilding out. So
Mhm.
you on that, you had a name for yourself there. Then boom. Then you got the guy,
Mhm.
right? DC Young Fly. He's an established guy in the industry.
Very much so.
He's an
Given
established
for
entrepreneur
sure. If we're
outside of
talking
the Wild and Out,
accolades, he's a
85 South, um, some movies, right? And other things.
yeah.
Like boom. You have the children. You have 3 children.
Right.
You have
Yeah.
beautiful children.
Mhm.
So it's just like for me, I feel like at a certain point, are you doing it for yourself? What are you doing it for? You got the
Yeah.
man.
I feel
You
like
got the
it.
man, you got the status. Are people gonna stop following you? Are you gonna have less followers if you don't
Right. Do this if you don't
if you're
conform.
not
If you
snatched like you were
don't.
before baby number 3? Is your
Right.
man, you know what I'm saying? Is it the fear that your man is not gonna look at you the same
I
after
mean,
number 3? Like you were good. You got the money, you have the social platform, you got the children, you got the man who is loving you obviously unconditionally. Did your
right.
man say was your man making remarks towards your body? Was he contributing to the negative self-image? Like what was it?
Yeah,
That's what
I
it makes me
mean,
think about.
it
Just
does because
like, what was the
I
point?
I don't know, because these women are so beautiful, like they're
Postpartum?
stunning. It could have been because so much affects. You got the mental, you got mental, the impact. There are impacts. There's implications for there's pressures being put on people, and I for sure feel like celebrities are under pressure. We think we're under pressure.
Did you
Imagine
try
being
the
under
gym
the
first?
mat.
Did you
We
try a
don't.
personal trainer first?
I mean, we'll never know. We just know
Like
that.
the risk is death. We have to try other avenues
I agree.
first. That's just what I'm That's my petition.
You just feel like it's a loss that's unnecessary.
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah, and,
To an extent, like sometimes, you know what I mean, like some children, like I feel like cosmetic surgery was initiated for like children who may, for example, have like a cleft lip or something like that, you know
yeah,
what I
we
mean,
definitely
or
abused
help you to,
the purpose for
you
sure.
know what I mean. So I think that's the whole thing, like really consciously thinking, why am I getting the surgeries, what, you know, how is it going to change or benefit my life for the better, help me to be the best trend I could possibly be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if it's taken for me to alter things physically on me, is there could be some other things that I really need to address,
yeah,
and let's address those things first.
for sure, for sure. Like, do
Because if
you
the
feel you're
risk is
saying?
death, yeah, if the risk is death, let's try some other things first.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying because I mean, there's more than just, risk of death. There's risk of complications. There are risks of, you know, botching. There's risk of reactions. There's so many there are risks that you can live with, not just take you from your loved ones and family. There's so many risks, and I just feel like I can say that there are people that are speaking out and advocating on the risk. So it's not like if you do the research and find out there are groups, there are things, there are people advocating, but it does still lead to the why. The biggest thing is why, and that's something that you know we all will have to, when we are faced with those choices and decisions and those thoughts, and if we want to make permanent changes and go under for changes, we have to ask our why. And I honestly feel like you should have to be psychologically evaluated before you do surgery. That's how I feel.
Period. I thought they
Because
did. I thought
maybe
that
they
was a
do.
requirement that you do. No, I think certain
Because
procedures that
there's
you do
multiple,
have to.
multiple, 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 like there are people getting procedure on, like there are
Because what
serious,
is the motivation?
but most
Is it to
celebrities are
make you more
rich.
attractive to the opposite sex? Okay, but then
I
what?
don't know.
Okay, now you're more attractive to the opposite sex.
Hmm.
And what?
Yeah.
Like we got to get to the root of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I can't have this red on my
And
lip, but yeah, I agree with you.
I'm
I
not saying
agree
that I'm against it. I'm not saying that I'm against it,
yeah,
and I'm
because let's be very
pro
clear:
it.
the bad come in.
By this time, yeah. By this time, let's
I feel like this.
cut the
Yes,
root.
money is a factor, and a lot of these people clearly have the means and the funds to make these changes. So, yes, a lot of people will probably look at this video and they're like, you can't afford it, you can't this." That's not the case, because the reality is, I feel like when you are when you're making changes to your body, and you become like a serial, I don't even know what you call it. Like when you just become like cereal to the point where you're just going under and going under. There are some things that's going on, and I feel like majority of our celebrities, a lot of them, they've had multiple. We've seen them undergo a metamorphosis. I mean, they are snatched. They waistlines don't exist, and it's just like, for what? Are they even happy? I feel like a lot of them aren't. You know what I mean? Some of them are, but a lot of them, like I said, I'm gonna stick to my guns and say that you should have to undergo therapy and a psychological evaluation before you're allowed to do X amount of things. And that's just how I
I
feel like
agree.
that would like stop a lot
I
of
agree.
things out. And
I think there
like,
needs to be
where are the
definitely more
health?
analysis.
Yeah, like what are there? Is there criteria for like your health? I
Yeah,
don't know. It's just like
yes, but we how deep
money
is it?
talk.
You know, right? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
how extensive is the background check? Are we going based solely off of your blood pressure? Are we going solely off of your BMI or the
Hmm.
information that you give the
Yeah.
doctor? We don't know.
Hmm.
But that's another thing. You have to be honest. You guys got to be
Hello.
honest about the health condition that you have, whatever questions that they're asking you.
Yeah.
You have to be honest,
Yes.
because a lot of these doctors are asking you for a reason. Because if you have ever had a tooth, if you
For
do have a
sure.
toothache, you do have a toothache and you're going undergoing some surgery, it could be something that will kill you. That's why they're
That's
asking you the
right.
question. You
That's
have to be
right.
honest and you know, be willing to be rejected so you can live.
For sure. And I think that plays
Don't
a
let
big
people
factor.
last.
And, since you're going in that direction, I thought it would be appropriate to move on to the next topic, which is ethical consideration for beauty pros. And this is going to be like, now we're talking from a stance of we are individuals in the beauty community. We change people's image on a day-to-day basis. No, we do not do it under anesthesia, but we do it, and we do make sometimes big considerable changes, drastic changes. What do you feel, we can talk about from the professional standpoint and the consumer standpoint? What is the responsibility of beauty professionals? Like, what do you feel like for influencers and people like you and I who are, hairstylists, and we interact with the public when it comes to like promoting body positivity and self-acceptance? Like, what is our responsibility when it comes to the consumers? Do you feel like we can be more honest? Do you feel like we bend the truth to make sales? Like, how do you feel that we can do as a profession, and we make up a small portion of a very big industry, which is the beauty industry? Okay.
We can be more honest. We can be more brutally honest.
Hello.
For me personally, just for an example that could be on another tangent, there are certain services that I won't do because I know what it leads to. I know that it leads to alopecia, permanent alopecia, traction, unhealthy hair, right? And that's what I'm in the business for, healthy hair.
Yeah.
Not looking hair, actually healthy
But
hair.
healthy hair,
And
yeah,
there's a big
for
difference.
sure.
So, me, that's just being honest. So certain hairstyles that you want that's going to make you look good is not going to be healthy for your hair. So being brutally honest and letting you know that, I think there's something we need to do more of as beauty professionals. I think as beauty professionals, we need to have more integrity, and stop doing certain services that have shown for history.
Let's talk about them, because you pointed one out to me.
The hair.
This one.
I mean,
remember what? Yeah. Let's talk about it. Okay. So for the people that don't know, I am a beauty professional. She is. So I get color in my hair, and we all know that chemicals like relaxers, chemicals like bleaching powders and developers, they have been linked back to some really, really prominent issues, especially amongst African American women. Some issues being fibroids, is it fibrosis? Fibrosis, alopecia, all type of things like, relaxers, cancer. Let's not forget the big one. And let's not also forget like the premature balding in women. Chemicals can do that as well, not just sew-ins and braids. There are chemicals that can do that. So my sister here, because she loves me, she was like, compliment my color, and she was like, it look good now, but you need to take a break from putting that on your scalp. And she's not wrong, and I always, like to think of things as in moderation, but, and I stretch out my color and things like that. But the reality is a lot of things that we do have risk. And I agree. I feel like we may need to just start talking more, and being a little more vocal, and not out of fear, but just out of, I don't want to be the reason, someone really just doesn't know. And I have this knowledge, and I am taking a risk, when I do color. But there are really some clients that don't know. And I was thinking like, okay, I knew about the links, but I know I haven't colored my hair my entire life, so I feel like my risks are lower and my odds are lower. But the reality is, how many clients actually sit in the chair and know this knowledge? You know what I mean?
A lot of them don't, because you got a lot of beauty professionals, so-called, that are allowing clients to sit in their chair, and they're not
repeatedly
they're just taking their money. They know that it is the time of relaxers is expired.
Yeah, but it's still being done.
You know what I mean?
I let people know.
Being done.
I let people know.
And there's the miseducation, the not offering the alternative. This is something that you're used to doing. This is what the client is used to doing. This is a routine of things. They come in and you counting on that money. You don't even know how they would really feel about being introduced to other options, but it's your responsibility as the industry grows, as technology grows, as you learn more information, as you
Mm-hmm.
get more knowledge, to educate your guests too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, there is another alternative to get this silky hair that blows in the wind, but
Mm-hmm.
it is gonna take a little longer, take a little more product, and take a
You
little
know,
more
work
maintenance and responsibility. But
for
it is
sure
healthier for your not. It's not only healthier for your
in the
hair, but it's
long
healthier
run.
for your well being in the
Body,
long run as
yeah,
well,
I
right?
agree because
And
yeah,
you
and
know, the
also
thing that
with
you put on your
mhm,
scalp, it is absorbed in your blood. You know what I'm saying? It's
it's
our
true
responsibility to educate and educate ourselves, continue our education.
for
A lot of
sure.
stylists in the industry that have been in there, especially like us that have been in the industry for over 15 years, 15, 20 years, we're still
Mm-hmm.
stuck in early 2000s, you know, still
Mm-hmm.
using the same products in early 2000s, still doing the same techniques, same processes. And there are new and improved techniques. There are
Yeah.
products that are less harmful, not only to yourself, to the environment that you could be using.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got to do more at holding our other
Selves
professionals
accountable
accountable,
for
calling
sure.
each other out in a respectful way, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Where your co professional is able to understand and receive what it is that you're trying to
Yeah.
teach them.
And I feel like even too, like that's great feedback. What you said, we got to hold each other accountable, and then also when we learn something new, share it. You know what I mean? Like for
Right,
me, I do microlinks, and we all know that anything done improperly, anything done too much can lead to damage. I make my
right,
clients come out of sets. I make them sit out on sets when they're ready to let go of extensions. I support them in that. But I've recently made a big change in my salon. Now I only let curly clients get micro links if they're going to wear it curly. I've noticed that like it doesn't matter how much a lot of clients don't want to come in for their maintenance, and then they just can't quite do the upkeep when they're out. So I'm noticing that my curly girls that are going straight, they're experiencing some issues that you most of my curly girls that only wear curly extensions aren't. Like I have clients that hair is full, no breakage, no shedding, but then my curly girls who are only trying to wear it straight, it's just not working to the standard that I want my clients to have. So I find myself, letting them know as I come across new information, because you're only going to know over time, right? You know what I mean? And also, too, I've stopped offering certain methods. I now only offer like 2 or 3 methods. One I created myself because it's been the only one that hasn't damaged people's hair, you know what I mean? And it's given me good results. The other methods that people have, started with microlinks, they don't work for my clients. I would, when I did other people's techniques, I would notice like flaws and chinks in the armor, if you will. I would notice that like whoever this technique was made for, it's not my client. My client has a different set of needs. So I feel like as stylists and beauty professionals, sometimes it's good to do things differently and create methodologies and create signature, techniques, because what I do is literally for naturally curly girls. And that's just really what it's for. I tried other techniques, they don't work, for the curly girls. So I find myself, straying away from that and going back to the drawing board and making microlinks as safe as I can make them. But anything can have downfalls, especially when abused. So, I agree with what you're saying. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Do you have anything else to add? Because we have one more
yeah, stay
question.
true
Yes.
to yourself. Don't,
Mm.
don't stay true to yourself. It's your responsibility to be your authentic self, because if you're out
Yes,
here trying to be Rihanna, trying to be Kardashian, trying to be Lotto, nobody's being trend, nobody's being BB, and you
for
never know
sure.
how when you're being BB, when you're being trend, that it can influence someone else to be their authentic self.
Right.
So if there
Yes.
are going to be any changes that you're going to do to yourself, it's because it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you put your best foot forward so that you can do great things right in the world,
Yeah,
and make the world a better place. But
for
if
sure.
it's not, if it's going to make you feel like, if it's going to make you conform or to be like someone else,
Don't
stray
do
away
it.
from it.
For sure.
spend more time in the mirror, spend more time practicing, telling yourself that you're beautiful, telling you that this big nose can smell
You
more
have
rose, it
to.
can smell the beautiful scent of the botanical gardens. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
these blemishes here is because no one has the skin that I have. I am
for
beautifully and
sure.
wonderfully created, right? So if you are going to enhance anything,
Enhance your
change anything, do it
mentality.
because yeah, it's gonna help you to be the best person you can possibly be the best mom, be the best entrepreneur, be the best sister, best mom. If it's gonna make you be better, then do it. If it's gonna have you
Or
chasing chasing happiness,
chasing.
if you're doing it to attract the opposite sex, if you're doing it to make you look more attractive or to attract a certain type of thing, spend more time with yourself.
or
And
or doing it to thinking it's going to bring you the success you want, bring you the
right,
clientele you want, like,
yeah,
or the network and surroundings you want, because a lot of people botch their bodies and change their bodies and
yeah,
nothing comes of it because it's never your outward. It's something
right,
that is going wrong with your process, something going wrong with your, other things, but it's never the outward. We've seen plenty people glow up like Glorilla, like, you know what I mean? And they had no modifications, you know what I mean? And it made them who they are. Unique future features. So I feel like you're right. Empowerment and authenticity is what we need to, focus on and lean towards. I feel like it's a really, really impactful way to embrace our unique features and to love ourselves and accept ourselves. And I feel like, we got to lean into that more. I like that. You went right to that. So I just put it up on the screen. But I love that because I don't know. I mean, imagine, just think about how many people went viral, or they exist now because of something unique. You get what I'm saying?
most people are.
Rihanna really, like, created like a lane and avenue for uniqueness, especially with her brand, her Fenty brand. And, I saw some looks, that I think are beautiful and unique, but society would look at it and pick it apart. You know what I mean? So embrace authenticity. If you didn't show up as trend, that would be bad for business. We can't have that. So to our audience, to our listeners, be authentic in a world full of copy paste, cookie cutter. Remain true to yourself. Remain unique. Like your style. Don't change your style to get likes. Don't change your body in hopes of gaining something. If you think that you changing something externally is going to um, give you or attract what you want, life has shown us that you're mistaken, because now you are keeping up an image. What they say, keeping up with the Joneses. Let people gravitate towards you for who you are, for how you look, for what your thoughts are. Don't change too much about yourself unless it's going to benefit you or the world, meaning it's going to be impactful. But changing yourself to be liked and accepted and loved by the world, that's two different things. That's two different, two different situations. And I don't know. I hope that the Beauty Vault listeners, our supporters, our community, we hope y'all remain authentic, because I see so many authentic people come through this show and I love to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
What
sure.
say you? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that was a very good show. And I do want to pose a closing question, and we can continue rambling, but I would like the audience to answer this question and really think about it and really reflect on it. Looking at the way things are going in the world, we see beauty pageant winners losing their lives, taking their lives. We see beautiful women and men. I don't want to leave out men. We see these beautiful people that we look at through the screen. We're adoring their life, idolizing their life, and then they're gone because they wanted to change something about themselves. And, it's just heartbreaking and it's avoidable. So I just want to ask the audience, Are you confident embracing your natural appearance, your natural personality, your natural body? Are you showing up authentically? Are you confident? Are you happy? If the answer is yes, keep building that positivity. If the answer is no, you know, start doing some look internally, and outwardly if you need to, before you make big changes to yourself, especially life altering and life risking changes. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I just, pray that everyone accepts themselves and loves themselves, because this is just happening too often. The pressure is real out here in these streets. The pressure is really on to be what's impossible, which is perfect. And I don't know how you feel about how you feel about that.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is real, and it helps me, you know, being an optimistic. It helps me to, like I said, spend more time with myself and just really love the things that um, just love myself more, and the things that I
Yeah,
have thought about changing, just do more to embrace those things. If
for
I
sure.
was never able to change it, it's still going to be a part of me every day. So I'm finding ways to love the things that I would want to change, no matter what.
Yeah.
Um,
I see the question on the screen. It says, I was just talking about this topic with my kids. I have mostly girls, and they're about to enter high school and middle school where the competition is real. And, you know, I feel like, for our youth, this is a topic that, you should be talking about your youth, especially if they are of age. Because I feel like really, if you are a parent that allows your child to be like on social media, the competition and the comparison has already, started. I guarantee you. And that's before they even walk out the door and face the world. It's right in their hand. It's right on their palm. So I'm glad you are talking to your daughters. I'm glad you're talking to your children. Talk to your daughters, talk to your sons. Self love and a positive self image is important to have. I think it's important as parents, to really build our children up as best we can. We're flawed, we get it wrong sometimes, but to be more intentional about, how am I uplifting my child? How am I pouring into them? Because there's so much, even though we love them and mean well, there is already so much against them that we have to take a moment and remember being a kid and just remember try to put ourselves in their position. But definitely continue talking to your children. How you feel about that, Mo?
yeah, definitely something that needs to be talked about. As far as the phones, as parents, I think it's our responsibility to limit the amount of screen time that our children do have.
Yeah,
Even if it is seeming that it's comforting them, or even keeping them quiet, or keeping them out of your face, there still needs to be um, different activities, different things for them to do other
yeah,
than scrolling, because that is kind of what social media is was created to do, to keep you, to
right.
alter the minds, to
And that's exactly what it's doing.
propaganda, you know what I mean, to pressure to push. There's a call of action every time you
That's it.
scroll,
Every
right?
time they
Because
want you to stay out there.
you found yourself being influenced from the things that you see or read just
Hmm.
scrolling, right? So it's our responsibility to limit certain access and monitor the things that they're seeing, so that
On these
uh,
platforms.
yeah, that can be minimized. And talking about those uncomfortable topics, just like what
Yeah,
happened with Jackie O. Talk about those things,
yeah. I won't even lie. Like
educate yourself.
it used to be a point where I felt like, are they ready? Are they this? But sadly, like it's never too early to talk to them. I'm sorry. I feel like it's gonna get to them before you can address it. Like every time I bring up things with my children, I'm so shocked and surprised, like how much they already know. You know what I mean? It's just a different time. So I feel like I love what she brought up as far as like how she talks to her girls, because it's never too early. That's right. I feel like I I'm I've learned that it hinders them to I used to be very what's the word? When you try to shelter them from the real world, I let go of that. You know what I mean? I used to do that a lot, but I've come around, and now I'm more upfront about a lot of things when it comes to my kids, because it's just an interesting world out here.
Yeah, because
But
if you ain't giving it to them, somebody else is. You
somebody
better
else
believe
will.
that.
You better believe it. Got to keep it straight
So,
and to the point.
so you hope that
Mhm.
you could be able to give it to them from your perspective in a way that they're able to receive it. Because when they go to school with their peers, that's who's giving them all the new information, and you already
That's
know
true.
how that goes.
Yes.
These children are
So
still out here trying to mature and trying to figure things out too, so they're
for
not
sure. For
given the
sure.
correct information. So we as parents definitely gotta
Yes.
communicate with
Gotta
our
do what we
children
gotta
and
do.
control that a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I think, we're gonna come to a close on tonight's show. This was an amazing episode. I'm really happy and excited to be in your guys' space and in the place with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in and engaging. Your time means a lot to us. Thank you for even stopping in to engage and just see what we have to talk about. We appreciate it. Um, and I just want to recap. Today's episode was the price of perfection, the pressures to conform to beauty standards. Please go back and rewatch this episode, share it with your friends, engage with us in the comment section. To all of our listeners, you can go to our social media page. It is the Beauty Vault podcast on TikTok, Instagram, as well as Facebook and YouTube. You can engage with us on any platform. Feel free to do so. We actually encourage it. We respect all thoughts, everyone's opinion, whether you partake in cosmetic procedures, if you choose not to. Either way, we would love to hear from you and your reasonings behind it. And yeah, we hope you guys have an amazing night. Trend, do you want to close us out and let them know when they can catch us every Monday? I kind of
At
told it.
9:30.
I kind of told it. They can catch it. But anything you want to add? I'm done. Thank you guys for tuning in.
No, just to let you guys know, I am doing one-on-one classes at the
For
moment. I know
sure.
summertime is coming, so if you
Mm-hmm.
guys have teens or people that are needing
Yeah.
some one-on-ones with locks, hit me up. I will
Yes.
be teaching how to start basic locks and how to retwist and maintain. I'll probably be throwing in some styling in there as well. So get
Well,
at me.
how can they contact you? Where would you like them to contact you at to book their one on
Hit me up
ones?
in my DMs, Facebook or Instagram,
Okay.
or you have my number. I'm not hard.
Okay. And that's right. And at the bottom of the screen, if you want to get to know us on a more personal level and follow us on different platforms, our Instagram handles are down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you guys have an amazing night. We will see you next week right here in the Beauty Vault. See you guys. Bye.